Hello and welcome everyone to another cast of Ris3n Competitive. This is the Validity Team League Week 7. It's going to be Ris3n Competitive facing Validity Gaming themselves. So without further ado, let's get right on into things and introduce our players. Here in this first match, the Diamond 1 slot in the bottom right-hand corner, representing Ris3n Competitive, it is Savior. And up in the top left-hand corner, the red Terran player representing Validity Gaming, it is Average Dude. So starting things off with a little bit of a mirror TVT matchup that I know that Savior is pretty fond of. I'm not sure about Average Dude. But Lightshade is a really, really big map, which throws a little bit of a wrench in the gears of how TVT might normally operate. Typically, you're going to see those early game pressures with Reapers and Hellions. Maybe someone forgoes that a little bit, gets the Cyclone. Maybe going for a Liberator. But on a bigger map, obviously, that leaves more time to prepare if you do go across and try and do a drop or anything, which, with those early pressures, time is of the utmost importance, right? A few more seconds means that a Cyclone could get out to defend. So that could influence what builds these guys choose here in game number 1. Looks like is he going straight Reactor first? Wow, okay. Straight Reactor into Factory, no Marine, no Reaper. Mad Lad. Mad Lad Savior. And obviously, you know, this has potential to be quite nice for him. He could pump out his units very quickly. The downside, of course, being if this Reaper goes right across the map, that could be pretty annoying here for him, but he's going to be making 2 Reapers at a time. This 1 Reaper is heading out now, and it's actually going to check for proxies, so it looks like this slight risk that Savior took is going to end up being totally fine. The factories are going to finish up at around the same time. Reapers and Hellions coming out here for Average Dude, who's going to throw down the CC first. Well, not a CC first, but the first one to throw down a CC. There's the Starport following it up. And it would not surprise me to see a drop here out of Savior. Crank out, I think, like 2 Hellions, 4 Reapers. And then try to put the pressure on a little bit. Now, of course, his CC is going to be delayed here, at the cost of having a few more units and faster tech. So the impetus will be on him to get damage done here. Now, obviously having those units is going to provide that opportunity, but it's one that he cannot afford to squander, otherwise he will find himself behind the workers pretty quick, as Average Dude will have the opportunity to really crank out double mules, double SCVs at a time. Obviously, a tremendous advantage here. It's actually going to be 3 Hellions and 6 Reapers, I guess. I guess that's true, because the Reapers can jump up. Here come the Hellions and Reapers of Average Dude, who's going to poke at the front. Needs to be very careful here. He is outnumbered. Meaning if he overextends here, he could lose a lot of units. But actually, I think that trade is going pretty well here for... Well, it was going well for Average Dude. But actually, he gets everything cleaned up, trading out for the Reapers. He is now left unitless until this Cyclone is out. And it's going to be 3 Hellions and 2 Reapers here, which can do a job against a single Cyclone. Certainly. 2 Marines finishing up as well, but they are not going to be with... Where are the Reapers? Oh, he's dropping everything. They're not going to be with the Cyclone, as here we go. He's going to just dive on this. Oh, excellent pickup there to cancel that lock-on the Cyclone. He gets it, and now this is where he can start to get some damage done. The SCVs are lining up a little bit. There's the Liberator popping out. How much damage will get done? So many... Oh, they line up. So far, 7 SCVs go down. This Liberator trying to zone these units out, but he can dance out of the zones. There's another Cyclone now. All of these units are super low on HP. It looks like Savior is going to be shoved back. 8 SCVs go down. But that does bring us to about parity in the worker count here. Now, behind this, Savior has started to progress his tech a little bit. Tanks, Vikings on the way. 3rd CC going down here for Average Dude. This Liberator now coming across going to look for some damage of its own. But if these Vikings get in position, they should be able to prevent too much damage from really being able to be gotten done here. Oh, 2 Reapers still in the back, picking off 4 workers, but in the main, damage going down absolutely everywhere. 7 SCVs go down for average dude. But he's going to return the favor with 7 of his own. Okay. This Liberator is going to get picked off. So, wow. Okay. Real slugfest of a game so far. Neither of these guys letting the pressure up for even a moment on each other. Cloaked Banshee is going to actually be the follow. This is late Cloaked Banshees. Okay. Interesting. Now, again, this third CC is well ahead here for average dude. So that is quite nice. And I feel like this Cloaked Banshee could work just because it is a weird timing. It's not really something you would expect this late in the game. Scan goes down. He sees the Banshee. That's nice. That is a very nice little spot there for him. As here comes the push out from Savior. Getting an engineering bay himself so he can get those turrets up. Spotting Marines coming out here. But they're going to get picked off. And again, every unit counts here for average dude who is at a army supply disadvantage currently. And with all these Vikings in the air, does not have air control. Assuming there are scans, he can push this back. Though again, this is a nice area to control, but this third is still not currently under pressure. Savior really, I think, needs to start inching forward here with the Vikings. He's going to try and bait some units out. Ooh, in the background, a few Marines wander into the mineral line, and they're actually getting themselves some worker damage done. Scan goes down. I think he got the Banshee there. But now this tank fire is starting to lock down this mineral line. These Marines are going to get cleaned up, but not before they pick off 7 workers. And now one of the Banshees, 2 of the Banshees are heading across the map. There are turrets in position, but still there's an opportunity for them to be very, very annoying. Now these tanks are inching forward, and they're going to start firing at the units themselves. One tank going to go down. And if this tank falls, there's really not much to anchor this position, meaning Savior can definitely continue his advance here. Bring those Marines into the fight. These 2 Banshees are actually going for the production, it looks like. As this game is really starting to get crazy here. Remember, on the back of this, average dude does have the 3rd CC. But with this air control so solidly in Savior's advantage, this is going to make breaking this position very, very difficult. Oh no, the CC's super low. Oh, he doesn't repair it. The tanks take it out, and that is huge here. Because that means that the CC count is even, though, again, she's literally just killing the production buildings right now, is average dude. Savior's going to move up. I don't know how I feel about this. I think he might have overextended here a little bit. He's walking into 2 sieged tanks. Now, the Marine count is going to be at his advantage, but loses all the tanks there, does Savior, and he is well behind on workers right now. And again, with no current way of dealing with these Banshees. There we go. The Marines are going to move forward, but they're going to get taken out, and Savior, he has no production. He can't make units. And all he's really got in the air right now is Vikings. He needs to get his production back up and running here. Banshee does go down. That 3rd CC is going to move to the natural. But again, the workers massively in favor of average dude, who, taking a look at the army supply, now has a big window. You look at how many barracks he has. Look at the army that he has. Savior remaking his barracks now, having to remake a factory, but that he can't even remake because he doesn't have a barracks. Oh my gosh, he doesn't even have a barracks. Okay. There is a massive window here for average dude to get some damage done. I don't actually know how I feel about the drop, considering how many Vikings he has. Because, like, the only way that Savior can deal with this army is if it's like loaded up in medevacs and gets shot out of the sky. Third CC going down. 2 Liberators coming out. I actually don't mind that. He needs something to shoot down. But this drop is going to come in. And I'm really just not sure how Savior deals with it. He needs another minute to get all this production up, to get these reactors done. Still doesn't have stim. He's going to have 1-1 with no Marines. And with this big push coming in, I just don't see how he can deal with this without any ground army. He's going to have to land the Vikings to fight this, but this is going to be a decent enough trade for the Marines, who are actually going to get shoved back with how many Vikings there are. But again, then he's going to stim into the natural. 3 tanks. GG is called. Validity Gaming's average dude takes game number 1. All right, everybody, keep it locked. We're going to throw up the overlay real quick, and we're going to be right back with game number 2. Stay tuned. With game number 2, you saw TVT. Now we're going to get to the ZVZ spawning up in the top left-hand corner. The purple Zerg player representing Validity Gaming. It is Amanda Goats. And down in the bottom right-hand corner, the teal Zerg player representing Ris3n Competitive. It is Renegade. That's a 12 pool. And I suppose we are on Submarine. So, you know, when in Rome, when on Submarine, do as the 12 pools do. As I poorly make that saying fit into this situation. But, you know, we're going to go with it. When on the Submarine, do as the 12 pools do. Which, what I actually mean by that, in terms of in-game speaking, for those that are not aware, Submarine, as opposed to Lightshade, is a tiny, tiny little map, making aggressive plays far more common than they would be on a bigger map like Lightshade or some of the other ones in the map pool. So, if you were to tell me, hey, Revolt, which map on the map pool do you think we'll see a 12 pool on? I would have told you Submarine. Not exactly surprised to see one coming out on this map. So the question is will Renegade be able to prepare for this in time? It is a gasless 12 pool. So not the most aggressive version. Not going to be committing with Zergling speed or Banelings. Just going to be trying to put some Ling pressure on, probably get this hatch. 2 Lings are done, and they are going to be seen, I think, immediately. Yep, they're going to go under the Overlord, so Ren should be able to prepare for this as soon as this pool finishes, get his own Zerglings up. As Amanda is, let me see, what is it, 6 Lings in total? 6 Lings in total. And like I said, this isn't the biggest commitment in the world. There is a hatch up behind this, but I can't imagine that this is going to kill the hatch. I would be very surprised. 8 Lings starting. As soon as they are done, he will be able to shoo away these Lings. And he even has the option of pulling some drones if he feels he needs to. Ooh, Evo Chamber coming down. So likely going to be a play with +1. But now, with the superior Ling count, this expansion is secure. Renegade does come out a few drones ahead here. And he will be able to get that faster bit of larva going on. Zergling speed as well ahead for Renegade, who can now turn and put on some counter pressure, forcing 6 more Lings out. Which is big, because it's really hard, and by really hard I mean almost impossible, to counterattack if you are down Zergling speed against someone who has Zergling speed. Just because they can retreat, and you can't really run them down, and they've got plenty of time to build their own Lings. And forcing these Zerglings out means that this is all money that's not going towards drones, which we see Renegade is about to be up at 26 drones to 17, which proportionally is a tremendous advantage here. Now, +1 is a very important factor here. Zerglings attack very quickly, meaning an upgrade like that can be obviously a massive advantage in Zergling wars, and let Zerglings trade very well against roaches as well. Neither player opting for any Banelings, which is interesting. But more and more Zerglings coming out. This just reads like a +1 Zergling speed bust here. Okay, these Lings are here. Speed is done. think Renegade can run this down if he wanted to. But opting for the safer choice, going to stay behind the wall. And if this wall is up and roaches get up behind it, it's going to be very, very difficult for Amanda to try and breach in there. And damage, I feel like, needs to be done with this push. I really think it does. Taking a look at the worker count, 18 to 27, we do see a few drones getting snuck out here for Amanda, but with 10 roaches on the way, 12 now, and a full wall up, I mean, you're going to have to pay the blood price if you want to bust through this wall, and that blood price is going to be a lot of Zerglings, a very lot of them. And afterwards, it's going to really expose... Oh, actually, Renegade is running out onto the map here. This is about as good an engagement as Amanda could ask for here, as these Zerglings definitely want to fight on the open field, but even still, that trade, I think, goes very well for Renegade, who, while supply blocked, is at a worker lead and a very, very, very big army lead. Oh, catching these queens out would be massive if he wants to get aggressive here, and it looks like he will be able to do so. One queen goes down pre-transfused. More Zerglings are coming out now, but here comes the real threat of the push. That is these Ravagers, or sorry, Roaches. Ravager just because that one's low on HP. I think Renegade really needs to go before this Zergling count gets too high. Needs to kite here a little bit. Let these Zerglings bog down the opponent's Zerglings so these Roaches can really stand strong and get the damage done. It looks like there might just be enough lings with this next round of them. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Only 2 roaches remain after the dust settles, but more reinforcements coming in here for Renegade. Gonna go for these queens. That would be a big pick-off. Great transfuse there. But both queens go down. And now there's very little left here for Amanda to try and defend with, as the drones are going to start to fall. GG is called. Renegade evens up the score here in this best of 5. We are 1-1, getting ready to go into game number 3. Thank you, Genoa Salami, my Protoss boy there, for the subscription. We are going to be throwing to overlay, so keep it locked. We're going to be right back with game number 3. And it's going to be a ZVT here on Oxide. As we are level 1-1 in this best of 5. Again, all 5 matches will be played. And the team that can pick up 3 or more victories will obviously be victorious here. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Terran player representing Validity Gaming. His name is hilarious. And I laughed at it last time we played them, and I will laugh at it again, because it's a cool name. It's P and Keel. And spawning up in the top right-hand corner, the red Zerg player representing Ris3n Competitive. It is New Breed. This is our 3rd game, which means we are in the M2, M3 slots, but these guys are M3 players. I think one or both of them might have been M2 last season, but this is a very evenly matched in terms of MMR match. So I'm very excited to see what we can see here. ZVT, always a fun one. It's a hot take, I know, but ZVT is my favorite matchup. I think most people, or not most people, but a lot of players share that opinion. Even though, at least right now, my primary race is Protoss. From a viewer's perspective, it's always been my personal favorite matchup to watch. So I'm really excited to see what we're going to see here. Is it going to be bio? Is it going to be mech? Are we going to see any cheekiness? Let's keep an eye on that. Late gas here for New Breed, which is going to allow him to pile on that drone count really, really hard. Is going to come at the cost. Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's why. That is a extremely fast 3rd base. Goes down right around the same time that the command center of the Terran gets up. So this is a hyper-economic focused opening here from New Breed. Not going to have access to speed, super fast gas. That's going to let him get, ups really quick. But that drone count is going to be able to explode if he can keep himself defended. Looks like our Terran player is gearing up for that reactor Hellion opening. He scouts out, sees that the 3rd base is down already. It's like, oh, Okay, then. No Zerglings on the field, meaning this Reaper is going to have free reign to see if it can get any damage done. The drone's going to be forced into chasing. Ooh, does get one of them. Now the queens are going to start coming out to be able to defend this. As he's going to get one drone for his troubles here is P and Keel. Double queens coming out. As again, this seems to be a very dedicated strategy here by New Breed. Skipping the lings altogether, really. Just going to power on that queen count, power on that drone count, and here we see the double gas explosion here. To catch himself up tech-wise a little bit. 3 gases actually coming up. But his positioning with the queens is going to have to be very, very good here. With no Zerglings here as that mobile support, the queens are really... Their job is very, very important right now. So actually we see Marauders coming out and a Viking. I think I know what this is. This reads like a Hellbat Marauder timing. These can be absolutely brutal. Roachborn coming on the way. Roaches and queens, if controlled correctly, can deal with this. But it's going to be very important for New Breed to sniff this out. A little bit of a supply block here before he can get more queens on the way. But here we go. I like this. 2 queens guarding this base, 2 queens over here, making it really difficult for these units to really commit to a fight. There's the medevac. The Marauders are on the way. Viking is going to try and take this out, but he's going to see the 1-1-1. Does not necessarily show the build, but does give a little bit of an indication there for New Breed, who has got 5 more drones, 6 roaches, and I think we need to see all units on the production tab from here on out. Here's the push out from P and Kill. Does he have an armory? Is he building an armory? Oh, I think he forgot the armory. Oh, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So much of this push relies on these Hellbats being able to tank effectively. But as it stands, he needs to target down the Marauders. If he targets down the Marauders, there's really not a lot of firepower in this attack. The Marauders obviously shredding up the roaches, but once those Marauders die, there's just not a lot of oomph to this. And that means that these queens, very much not afraid of regular Hellions. And that mistake, I think, going to end up costing him his ability to get a lot done with that attack. I mean, he did get a lot of roaches, but still would have probably hoped to get a bit more done. And now I think the window has passed. He might be able to go in for round 2 here. But at this point, I guess he's got 2 more Hellions coming in here. Not a lot of army on the field, and more drones coming out for New Breed. Really needs to be careful here not to get too greedy. He's going to go for the medevac here. A few roaches in the background, but now the Hellbats doing what they were meant to do. Really getting in the face of this attack, and actually a few of the queens are stuck behind at the same time. As I think we might have seen a little bit of an overextension here from New Breed. He's trying to get more roaches out, but again, 4 Marauders behind this do provide so much damage against these roaches as he's going for the hatchery now. Even these Hellbats able to really get the damage done on these clumped up roaches. Needs to be very careful to keep everything together here. Does P and Keel. As isolated, this army is not nearly as effective. More units coming out here. New Breed trying to kite back and forth. He needs to get all of these roaches in the fight here. That is most of the Hellbats taken out, which means Zerglings can start to get on top of this and clog up those Marauders a little bit. But more units coming in. These medevacs doing all the healing that they can. This is going to be such a tight hold here for New Breed if he can pull it off. 2 more Hellbats joining the fray here. As one gets taken out, he needs these units, and he needs them now to get onto these Marauders. Here we go. Great surround there from the Lings. Hellbats are going to get cleaned up. That means Marauders are shooting Zerglings, and that is not what they want to be doing, as it looks like P and Keel is going to be forced back here. Evacuates a lot of the units, but the base stays alive. Whew. That was tight. But again, he does have a transition behind this third base landing. More Overlords upgrades coming in here for New Breed. And that's a big point here, is that the upgrades are just not really here for Pinkeel, who's now transitioning into mech. Okay. I should have picked up on that earlier, but I was so distracted with the attack. Ooh, might be able to pick off some fresh mules here. That would be a great pickup here for New Breed, if he can target them down. Oh, doesn't get any of the mules. That's a little unfortunate, but does see the Cyclone count and does identify that it's mech. We do have a Fusion Core coming up as well. A little bit of a battle mech play coming up. It's probably going to be Speed Banshees based on the look of this. More Roaches, more Lings, and a lot of upgrades coming in here for New Breed. Well, the Pinkeel is still trying to keep that pressure on. 7 Banelings coming in. They are going to be absolutely crucial for dealing with these Hellbats, but a few of them are going to get picked off before they spawn. So this could be an awkward hold here for New Breed, so he needs to get these units into position. Here come the Banelings. Evacuates the drones such as to not lose them. But that means the Marauders are going to be able to clog up this ramp, force those Banelings to hit targets that they don't really want to be shooting. But it looks like the Zerg Tide is going to be too much here. Pinkeel does manage to evacuate the 2 Cyclones, so that's probably the important units there. A BC coming out now as well. But behind this base is a little bit exposed here. Once the BC comes out, it will be able to aid in the defense, but until that happens, this is going to be it's going to be a little bit tricky for him to hold on here, at least to the third base. Couple workers at least for sure going to get taken out here. Here come the tanks, or the tank, sorry, trying to lock that position down, but New Breed is going to be happy with just shoving that place back. Oh no, there's no spores. And a BC teleports into the back. Yamato on the way. He's gotten 5 drones so far and counting. As New Breed reeling here a little bit, needs Queens, needs something to deal with this BC so it doesn't hamstring his economy. Though it looks like the damage might already be done with 10 workers going down here. Spores are starting to come up as he's trying to get these Queens in position to deflect this, but oh, this could be a huge counterattack. He's going to go into the natural. The wall is down. The wall is down. That means that this defense is going to be a tricky one here for Pinkeel, who's actually losing some Cyclones on the other half of the map too. Now, he can afford to lose some economy here with how much damage he has done across the map, but he has to be careful here. He's going to lose a CC, loses the natural. That's a big deal. He's going to lose a couple tanks as well. 14 SCVs go down and the natural. But his SCV count's still very high. Immediately restarts a CC. New Breed really needs to get some drones out. His drone count's so low right now. But these Lings could actually wreak havoc on ultimately what is a defense of just very few tanks. Actually, the repair, they're going to save that tank. Only 2 SCVs go down. What a crazy game. 3 CCs start up here. As Roaches and Lings are crashing in, but not really trading out very efficiently. 5 more drones on the way. New Breed piling back up that count. It's a lot of CCs to start up here for our mech player. Can these 2 Banelings get anything done? 4 workers. A couple of swarm hosts coming out as well. Gonna try and stretch the defense of our Terran player. With this 4th base down, it does not have any spores here, though. That's a little scary. Now we're seeing this, oh, especially as this BC's on the way. Do we have Queens or Hydras? Oh, this base is like totally undefended right now. That is very scary. Oh, I don't think P&Keel realizes that he could just go in on this, especially as he takes out that queen. Now he's going to go for it. A couple of Hydras and a queen are the only thing here to defend. That is not going to be enough. He needs to at least hit a transfuse here or something. This BC going to take some damage and back off. Very fortunate there for New Breed to keep all of those units alive. Another BC heading into the main, where there's still no Spore. And he's actually going to see the Swarm Hosts as well. Oh, this is really, really hurting New Breed here, these BC counterattacks that have just gotten so many drones. Just when he had gotten his economy reset up, it's getting like shot back down once again. The counter attack with the Swarm Hosts is about to begin. But P&Keel susses this out as he's going to take this base, and I think he'll be able to shut this down. Oh, you need to shoot those, and you need to leave. You need to leave. Gets back in. This Locust Wave running into Blue Flame Hellbat's not really going to get a lot done here. And now things start to get dangerous. You really have to start getting good Locust Waves here as New Breed, whose economy is just not really in the best position right now. That's an ambitious base. Still does have the Nidus network. I'd really like to see him start maybe trying to bounce back and forth, get some vision over here, throw a wave in, throw a wave in. 12 more drones in the production tab. And that is such a scary noise right now if you are P&Keel. You don't know where those units are, where they're going to hit. As it is going to be over here. As here come the Locusts. They are going to start getting that damage for themselves here. A couple of tanks, a couple of Hellbats, and a couple of SCVs as well. 5 in total. 6. And that's what he needs to do. He's going to need to claw his way back into this game, chip his opponent apart. But P&Keel not going to rest on his laurels here, still getting aggressive. Ooh, I like throwing that Nidus into the main. Could force him to send some units back, commit a little bit to defense when he doesn't have a lot on the ground here to defend. Needs his next Locust Wave, I think, to be a defensive one. Yeah, really, outside of the Swarm Host, there is Hydralisk. Not Hydras, Hydralisk. Meaning, while this attack is great and it's going to get a lot of damage done, there's nothing to back it up. There's nothing to stop this push. P&Keel is going to push into the natural, probably into the main, and there's nothing here to stop him. 46 Lings coming out. But with any amount of Blue Flame Hellbats, I think he's going to be okay, especially with 4 BCs in the sky. They're going to teleport home for the defense. Can he escape into the Nidus? Yes. That's important. But just look at the barbecue. Yeah. Blue Flame Aliens just trade so well here. 20 workers go down for New Breed, who I think is trying to do a big Mutalisk switch to try and bail himself out of this situation. But will he even have the larva? I don't think he'll even have the larva is the problem. Yeah, is forced to make roaches, but roaches not going to cut it against this many siege tanks. As the main is under fire, getting shredded here. The tech going down, a couple of corruptors and roaches coming out, but a lot of those dying as they spawn in. It's been a very scrappy game here, but it looks like our Mech Terran has done enough to secure the victory. 4 BCs going to that final base of New Breed, putting the nail in the coffin as those few remaining drones are getting gunned down. Counterattack at the other side, but there is a planetary there. Gonna go for one last Swarm Host hurrah. But ultimately, the damage is not enough to mitigate the tide of BCs and mech units. New Breed is now not rebuild his base as being revealed. Oh, no, he got it. He got it on the right side. Infinite value, though, right? Swarm hosts technically can provide infinite value. He's going to hold on, try and pick off anything that he can here. With these locust waves. But I think he only has one building left. He's going to go for the planetary. Will he be able to get it? Actually misses his stutter step a little bit, but I think... No, I think it's going to get out-healed. It's going to get out-healed. That base doesn't go down. As the battle cruisers converge on the final base, the swarm hosts have nowhere left to run, no Nidus to hide in. As that is going to be curtains here for our Zerg player. GG is called. P and Keel takes the victory, putting Validity Gaming up 2-1. You guys know the drill. We're going to throw to overlay very briefly, and we'll be right back with Game 4. And we are back, everybody, with game number 4 here. Spawning on the top left-hand corner of Romanticide, the red Zerg player representing Validity Gaming. It is Simon. Down in the bottom right-hand corner, the green Terran player representing Ris3n Competitive. It is Ris3n. So this time, the tables have turned a little bit here. Our Validity Gaming player is our Zerg, and our Ris3n Competitive player is the Terran. On a big ol' map like Romanticide as well. Now again, the score is 2-1 here in this best of 5. All 5 maps are played for score, meaning that even if Simon wins and they have clinched the 3-1 victory in the match, the 5th map will still be played. So no matter what happens, we still got one more game of StarCraft for you. Looking forward to my boy Ris3n here. Those of you that have that are familiar with him know of his playstyle and what it entails. Unsurprising there that he would pick a map like Romanticide. But Simon, definitely gonna have his say in this match. Big maps for Zerg, always give them the opportunity, if they so choose, to get those bases up, get those drones up, and prepare and react to whatever they need to. Looks like it is going to be the standard Reaper expand here for Ris3n. And our standard hatch gas pool from Simon. This is the part of the TVZ that we've all seen about 100 times. Ooh, the Reaper's going to go across the map. I wonder if it'll get something done. Maybe a drone. Maybe a ling or two. That's probably going to be it. 6 lings actually coming out, and they are rallied around here. Okay. Okay. Wait, was this a pool? No. He might have gotten the pool a little quickly here. Because a few of the Zerglings are going to run around, and that's going to happen before the Reaper gets there. Meaning they can go around and start to cause some trouble at the CC. As it will be a minute here before the Hellions come out. Although as it switches here, I think the CC is going to finish before the Lings can kill the SCV. I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to finish. I think. Yep. Oh, you can load them up. That's hilarious. Did the Reaper die? Nope, Reaper's just scouting around. He is staying in gas. And Ris3n is going to see that. 2 aliens are going to come out and clear that out. 3rd base down here for Simon, but it is a tad bit later than normal. Not terribly, but a tad. And again, him staying in gas and in fact getting a 2nd gas And there's the Roachborn. I was going to say, typically, a Zerg at this point is, you know, they want Zergling speed, but then it's all on the minerals. You want queens, you want a hatch, you know, that third hatch, you want drones. If you're staying in gas, you are doing it for a reason. It looks like it could be a Roachling attack here for him, but with the fusion core coming down, this could be very fortunate here for Ris3n, as BCs are offer you a pretty unique opportunity against a very heavily committed attack, because obviously they can clear up the roaches and the lings with impunity from the sky, and then as soon as the attack is cleared, they have the opportunity to teleport across and immediately counterattack. None of this I have to run across. Like, they go. They're boom. But it is going to be a window, as I think this attack is going to initially hit before the BC is out. It started now. The roaches are in production and about to pop out. Overlord going to get picked off there. 4 Ravagers being made. So this is going to be a little bit of a tight timing here for Ris3n. He's going to have a little bit of time here before that BC is out, but when this attack is hitting him, he's going to have to manage that attack quite well. That's a good start, picking off some free lings at the beginning of the engagement. That's a great start for him. And I think getting this wall up, completing this wall would be great. Anything that buys him a couple extra seconds gets him closer to that BC, which is about 2/3 of the way done. These Ravagers are going to start working on the wall. As Ris3n's playing this very carefully, evacing the SCVs, wants to keep those alive, wants to get as many shots off on these Zerglings as he can. And just buy himself time here, as this BC is going to come out and immediately can start targeting down Ravagers and then go for the roaches. Here we go. BC, you need to come in clutch here. The SCVs are also going to get pooled here. He is ahead on workers, meaning he can afford to lose a couple here and still be okay. Bios are going to land here, but the BC from the sky is adding so much damage. 15 SCVs going down in total. But I think that this is officially shoved back here. Can't imagine too much more damage getting done here, as the Imperious BC rains hell down from above. Spores now needing to be made here from Simon, and that's the other thing here, is it forces out spores, which is not drones, which he really needs drones right now, and with them not being done yet, he is going to be able to teleport across and maybe get a little bit of damage done here. Let's see, 1 queen down, spore finishes. He's probably going to be able to get the 2nd queen here. Another queen goes down. There's 3 more in total, so they should be able to shove this back. Another Roachling attack getting ready to go in here, and now the BC is not actually at home. There is another one on the way, but it's not here just yet. Although if he pauses for too long, he could allow it. And I guess there's only 3 roaches here, and the rest is lings, meaning this Hellion count is going to... should fare pretty well here. Ooh. Gets the wall up. There's the BC. Still, the worker count is not very high here for Ris3n. But that is a lot of dedicated units that just went down. Second BC teleports in, and there is no spore at this base, making it very, very exposed. A couple of roaches going to get picked off as well. Third CC almost done here. At the same time, if this base dies, Simon is in a whole world of trouble. He's going to try and save it with the queens. He's got a lot of transfuse here. He's going to need to drop a lot of it. Focusing on the queens first is Ris3n. He's going to get 2 of them that have a lot of transfuse left. One of these BCs, though, is very low on HP. And it looks like Simon is going to be able to save the hatch, at least until Ris3n comes back with Yamato. Oh, he might just try and target it down, force out the rest of the transfuse. It's going to be close. Oh, it's so close. It goes down. Now with a 3rd BC on the way, this is going to get really rough really quickly here for Simon. 3rd CC is done. Ris3n can really start to power up the mech army. And actually, these 2 overlords are going to supply block him fairly heavily. Spire coming in here I think that is probably his best option here, but 3 BCs with Yamato. I mean, if it's mutas, like I just don't think he'll be able to get out enough of them to make a difference. More factories getting added on here for Ris3n. So this is a very tricky position for the Zerg player, who's kind of a little bit behind on tech, a little bit behind on army, and needs to catch up in economy. So the question is, where do you take those gambles? What gets cut here as you try and find a way to get yourself back in the game? With these 3 BCs, it's going to be so hard for the queens, right? Because there's, what, 4 queens here? Yamato's 3 of them. Like, 5 mutas coming out. That's 6. It's just really hard to see this being enough, especially since Ris3n has waited to have his teleport back, meaning if he micros this correctly, he's not going to lose a BC. Here we go. The mutas pop right as actually he engages with the queens. This is probably going to go about as well as it could here for Simon. But there's 1 BC teleporting back. And Ris3n should be content here just to take whatever damage he can get before he is forced back. And that's going to be a couple of the mutas as well. Even the Hellions getting in on the action, actually barbecuing the drones. Missed that. 17, 18, 20, 23. Couple corruptors joining the fray here, but the damage has been done. Z is going to dip on out of there as the dust settles and the attack is cleared. 30 drones have bitten the dust here, and this BC came back? Why did it come back? What are you doing, man? Is it going to take a mutal? Yeah, it's going to even take a mutalisk with it, even though it does go down. And now 17 workers remain for Simon. That 3rd base up and running. The 4th base being built on location here. It is difficult to imagine a path to victory here for our Zerg player. He's fought a good fight here, but the economy is just not there anymore after that last attack. As Ris3n powers up on 4 bases, and I think he can just get a couple of tanks, build his army up to the point where he likes it, and then go for the throat. And I'll tell you what, that field that Simmons sees on the minimap is a little bit disconcerting, because that means that he knows that this base is acquired. And being behind on bases against a Mech Terran is a very difficult position to be in. As it looks like we might have another Hellion counterattack. And I'll be honest, 5 roaches. I think this can beat 5 roaches. I mean, a couple creep tumors are going to get picked off. And the drones are exposed. 7 more go down, bringing him down to 16 workers. The BCs are going to hit on the far side at the same time. As he's probably just going to Yamato a couple mutas and teleport home. The muta count is starting to get high here. Let's see, it's up to 13, with a couple more on the way. But with the Thors coming out, I mean, to every question there is an answer right now. And that answer is going to be delivered via javelin missiles, courtesy of the Thor. Right now there's only one, though. So he's going to have to back up a little bit. Let the mutas get in on the action as well. But with two more about to pop here, there's another one. This is just going to be too much. He's going to look for some pickoffs on a tank here and there, but the writing is on the wall a little bit here. Oof. As Thors with upgrades do terrible, terrible damage to clumped up air units. Oof, we see each volley getting some of those units in the red. Yamato goes off, picks off one of the corruptors. So again, he's looking for his angles here, but they just don't really exist. Getting a little bit here and there, but Ris3n now maxed out against a 50 supply Zerg. These BCs gonna turn Yamato and teleport. You have to imagine that this attack should be the finale of this game, as there is nothing on the ground. There's gonna be two roaches. There's the transform. As the mech army has approached, and mech for our second time in this series is going to prevail and send us to a game number 5. Natural's gonna go down. Nice micro on the mutas, you gotta say. But yeah, I don't know, guys. GG is called. There we go. That is going to spell the end of the game and the start of our ace match. We're going to be right back with our final match, so keep it locked. It's going to be a good one. We are at 2-2 here. Spawning up in the top left-hand corner, representing Ris3n Competitive, it is Coda. And down in the bottom right-hand corner, representing Validity Gaming, it is Bocalypse. Who they were just discussing how everyone calls him Brocalypse, even though there is no R. So we are going to make sure to not screw up his name. But again, it all comes down to this Death Aura. In my opinion, a really, really cool map. One I am happy to see as our ace match. As Coda is going to be looking to excise, wrong word. I was close, though. Excise some of his Protoss demons here in this ace match. As most of the people that know Coda know, it's not a matchup that he is particularly fond of. Though he did recently, or last week in VTL, take a win in a TVP to seal us the victory. You know, all of those things when you're playing a matchup that, you know, you're not super comfortable in, getting that victory can not only help you spur on your gameplay, but also help you mentally get your head right for another match. Looks like it is going to be Gateway Cyber before Nexus here, as Coda is doing that thing that he has spoken that he likes to do recently, which is be a little cheekster and get that depot, that second depot a little fast, deny any scouting, keep the Protoss in the dark as to what is coming up next. Though in reality, he is going to be looking to take that base. There he goes. He's going to find the probe, throw down the CC. Probe goes down, but Bocalypse does see the CC, so he knows. I don't know what they're talking about, but um, anyway, sorry, that distracted me more than it should have. Lack of professionalism on my part. Apocalypse does see that the CC goes down, so he doesn't have to panic. There's no 3 racks or anything crazy like that coming. Salix saying he came back just in time. Yes, you did. Especially since you're in the past for me here. So you did. You got back just in time for our ace match. Robo first, coming out here for Apocalypse. So no Stargate play, no Twilight. Gonna be getting that Robo up, which can get you a fast Warp Prism, which gives you a little bit of flexibility there in terms of putting a little bit of pressure on. 1-1-1 coming out here for Coda. The Shade, denied. Oh, but it actually goes up. 3 Marines here. They should be able to take out this Adept, I think. No, it's gonna escape, right? The answer is barely, but yes. Let's take a look at what he saw. So not everything. Second barracks, starport coming on up. And it is going to be the robotics bay first. No extra gateways just yet. There they are. Gates 2 and 3 coming up on the low ground. As we got a prism coming out as well here. As the starport appears is waiting to switch with the factory after that cyclone comes out. As it's going to be a Raven coming out here. Now, I think we've seen this before from Apocalypse, where he gets, yep, the Disruptor drop going, and Warp Prism speed. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to interact with the Raven opening, but we're going to have to see how this plays out for him. These gates are going to finish up. Apocalypse is going to be looking to get that third base up shortly. And this is a cool play here. The Disruptor drop can kind of keep the Terran busy, keep them at home and a little worried, while you, of course, get your third base up and running. A lot of add-on swapping here for Coda. This is going to be on, I think, the Cyclone and the Raven here to do the deflecting. Colossus coming out now. That's the thing, though, right? This is going to be a very technical army here from Apocalypse in terms of defending the third, right? It's going to be the Disruptor, it's going to be the Colossus, and not a lot of other units here. Let's see. 4 workers. That's a good start. That's a good start. But again, that does leave you vulnerable to the Raven, as each disable takes out a huge piece of your army. Meaning you won't, or you're going to be a little bit delayed on those like huge Blinkstalker numbers, huge charge lot numbers. And instead, affording that Raven the opportunity to get a lot done. He's going to see this Prism coming in. He's got 2 Marauders here that might be able to help start to push this away. Does he have Stim? Not yet. Gonna run away. 6 SCVs and a Marauder. I think that was a great hit there for Apocalypse. But now, these heavy-duty upgrades are going to start finishing up for Coda. 1-1 Stim, Combat Shield. And again, this all-important Raven. It looks like it's going to be 2 Colossus here out for when this push hits. Meaning that this Disruptor is going to have to carry the team a little bit. So we could see a double disable here on the Colossi. Shield batteries coming up just now. They should be done in time. But here we go. Oh, cannot afford to let this Raven get picked off or to burn that energy too early. Couple of sentries coming in as well to help him control the field. 5 gateways coming up. Charge halfway done. Coda, I think, might have waited too long here. Now there's 3 Colossus. Yeah, now there's 3 Colossus. Charge is about to finish, and once these gateways are done, I feel like he's going to find it very difficult to get damage done. And with his third CC so far behind his opponents, This could get tricky. Tricky. Whoa. Tricky. Looks like he's poking around towards the other side here. This Disruptor drop still on the hunt. DT Shrine going down. Here we go. Oh, this Raven is a little exposed. Coda needs to be careful. There's one disable. Can he get a second one off? Bocalypse is caught out a little bit, though. These guys do both back out of that skirmish. No one wanting to fully commit to that. But now the wall of charge slots is going to be there. And with that, disable burned and no Colossi down. Not sure how I feel about this position for Coda, who it looks like is throwing caution to the wind and sending everything into the main. I have to imagine we're going to see a recall here. But where is it to? It's to the natural. So what will get taken out here? It looks like a couple of gateways. So nothing of terrible importance, I don't think. So this fourth base is coming up here for Bocalypse. There's still no third base. He's getting that set up now, is Coda. Blink. More upgrades here for Bocalypse. Oh, he's getting both blinks. Blink and blink DTs. So now without that Raven and with no Vikings, these three Colossi are going to be so difficult to deal with. The mines should help out. Oh, if he catches this. Bocalypse sees that just in time. Needs to get this army out of the medevacs if he wants to engage his opponent on the open field. So that is most of his bio. A couple good mine hits here could do some tremendous damage. Bocalypse is warping in a lot of DTs over here on the other side. Is there a turret? No, there is not. There's the scan, though. Blink on the DTs is not done. That's a lot of money down the drain there for Bocalypse. Ooh, he's going to go hunt for this Prism. Oh, but he's going to see the army and know that he needs to be very, very careful here. That is 20 supply. Oh. So unfortunate there. Things were looking so good there before that hit. Bocalypse fainting in and out here. Needs to bait out these mine shots. He knows that. Doesn't want to let them hit center mass on his charge lots. Baits out the first two. Coda's looking for a big surround here. As here we go. The attack comes in. There's a lot coming in from the backside, but good force fields here. Oh my gosh, Marauders coming in from every angle, though. That's one Colossus, that's two Colossus, that's three Colossus, but will the rest of the gateway units be able to stand strong? More charge lots coming in from the other side in a sandwich. GG is called. Bocalypse takes the victory in game number 5. Whew. Well, that was a very exciting series, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Well done by all of our players here, really putting on a show for us. If you enjoyed it and you haven't, please drop a follow. Would appreciate it. And keep it locked, because I think I'm casting something else in like an hour and a half. So we will have more StarCraft today. Alpha, amateur, playoffs. I don't know why my brain glitched there, but it did. Alpha amateur playoffs coming up in about an hour and a half, so keep it locked. We're going to have more fun StarCraft. I've been Revolt. All of you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.